Well, good morning. Welcome back to the sole video of April. Life's been a little crazy at the store and whatnot. Haven't had a lot of time to get down to the river to do a video, but I'm doing one today, and kind of what I'm going to focus on doing today, I'm heading upriver from Moppin on the Deschutes, and I'm going to intentionally fish water that I've never fished before. I think that's good if to kind of find new water, find new spots. You know, we all have our spots in a fishery that we know we can more than likely get fish. So today I'm gonna go out and try to find some new areas and see what kind of fish I can find. The fishing has been very good here in Moppin the last week or so, 2 weeks. I went out on Monday and did a float trip with a friend, and we were both in double-digit fish. So the fishing has been great. So we'll see if that has continued. It's a little overcast today. The water looks clear enough. It's got a little color to it, but not bad. And I think it's going to be a good day. So I got the co-pilots with me. So we're gonna head up the road a while and see what we can find. Well, right off in front of me there is a big herd of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 plus sheep just right in front of me that have come down to get water, and hopefully you can see them on video. They're going to be little, just look for their butts. They got white on their butts, and they're kind of slowly moving around up on the hillside, down near the water, just right out center frame of the camera. One downside of the GoPro is it does not do long range shots very well. Very cool. There's a bunch all the way up to the top, very rim. You can see that white that's kind of moving around top of that rim rock. That's all either goats or sheep. And then there's one in the middle right there that's kind of moving to the right in the middle of the frame. And then there's a silhouette on the top of that ridge of a goat standing parallel to us. I might see if there isn't a feature that I can zoom in on editing to get some closer shots of these. Pretty cool. That's one thing that makes the Deschutes Canyon pretty unique, is stumbling upon this kind of stuff. You know, I counted 20, but there's an easy another 20 up on the rim up there. So probably a herd of 50 that they'd all come down to get water. Now they're all working back up to the tops of the canyons. There's that guy moving. Look for his white butt kind of moving across the rock bed there. Well, that was pretty freaking cool, getting able to see the sheep, especially a herd that big. So let's get back to some fishing talk. What's going on here, what I'm going to be using today, the different methods I'll be using. It is going to vary a little bit today. I have 3 rods with me, which usually I I definitely don't do that, but I have a couple I want to try out that are new, different brands, etc. And so let's dive in and take a look at it. All right, first rod we're going to be using today is it's a center pin rod. It's got my Matrix XL on there, Fusion XL. It's a new brand that I'm not familiar with. I got recommendations from some other center pin fishermen that come into the store. It's a Nova tackle rod. It's a 13 footer. It's a 6 to 15. So it's pretty light, but it's still got a hefty backbone to it if you get a big fish on, which I definitely do like. 1/4 ounce to 3/4 ounce, moderate fast. It's a matte black rod. And then it's got what they call a fish scale handle, which is pretty cool. I've never had a rod with that. I'm kind of old school. I always loved the cork. So this is kind of like one of the new age handles. I do not care for the carbon fiber handles that a lot of manufacturers do. It's hard and uncomfortable. This fish scale is kind of soft, a little bit of a rubber feel to it. We'll see longevity, how it holds up, you know, the wear and tear. But so far I really love this rod. I fished it 3 times already, just kind of giving it through its paces. It's got a great sensitive tip. It's got plenty of backbone when you get a big fish on it. Last Thursday, I caught a 18-inch red band with that. And then on this last past Monday, I caught a 17-incher on that float trip. And then a whole slew of smaller fish. That was just the biggest one I caught, which is getting into that nice size red band for the lower Deschutes. I really dig this rod. It's slowly becoming my favorite. I say that I really like my Raven RPX, but I feel this is right in there, and it's a fraction of the cost of what an RPX is. An RPX retails for about $600. This retails for, I think, like the $220-ish mark. Don't hold me to that, but it's in that realm. And the way it fishes, it's flipping awesome. I really like it. You know, the sensitivity it gets, and then when you get a big fish on it, you got plenty of power. So totally digging that rod. So the next rod that I have with me today is a typical 5-weight, 9-foot fly rod. It's set up for nymphing, but I'm kind of playing around with the nymph setup. I really think, so there's the float I'm using. It's a little 1-gram float fishing float. This is a complete experiment. You know, I feel the fly industry needs to get on it and make fly indicators, strike indicators, whatever you want to call it, bobber, floats. They need to make some that actually work, you know. I mean, I feel that they don't know the counterbalance of the float. They don't, so it's a total guessing game. And how many fish is the fly fisherman missing because the float doesn't have the proper counterbalance? Maybe it's too buoyant or not buoyant enough, you know, to get that proper presentation. I just feel that the fly industry kind of half-asses their strike indicators. So I'm going to play with this and see how it works. The way I have it rigged, and then they also has a little hole in the base of the float that I might play around with, and rigging the line through the hole, and maybe pinning that with a couple of the float stops that you thread onto the line, and see how that works. That way you can adjust the depth and all that. Then also gets it this direction from the line versus being on the line, how it is set up now, like a typical float setup. So that's the kind of experiment I rigged up just to try it out, see how it goes. It may work or it may not. And the last rod I have with me is a TFO Blue Ribbon. It's a 5-weight, 9-foot. It's a moderate fast action. I have it set up for a dry dropper. If I start seeing action at the surface, I might bust this out and give it a shot, getting some surface action. It's hard to say, you know, you can't control the hatches, but I've recently started always taking a dry fly rod with me, because getting any fish on top water is super fun. So it's like, why not have that? It usually sits on the truck, and see, I very rarely use it. But and it's a new rod for me, which leads me into some new news for Moppin Country Store and Droppin' Floats. We are now a TFO dealer, Temple Fork Outfitters. They've been around for a long time. They make awesome, affordable fly rods, conventional rods. I'm really loving this new rod that I just got. The moderate fast is great for me. I've never typically liked lazy, slow rods and fly rods, spinning rods, float rods. It's just not my thing. So far, I haven't got a fish on it yet. I've just gone out and casted a little bit with it, and I really like how it casts. Then I'm just pairing it with a Lamson liquid fly reel. So that's set up for a dry dropper. If I start seeing action at the surface, I'm definitely going to bust this out and see if I can't get something on the new rod. And TFO is a great company. They make center pin float rods, conventional rods, like spinning rods, bass rods. They have a whole line of fly rods from, you know, a little over $100 up to, they stop about 400-ish price-wise. They don't get into that typical snobby fly industry thing where they want to charge you, you know, $1,500 for a fishing pole. They keep it realistic. The craftsmanship is great, you know, for the money. So super happy that I've got that. It took me a long time, and we're going to slowly transition all of our store stock over to Temple Fork stuff, because they've got a great warranty. You know, if it's a manufacturer defect, it's a lifetime. I mean, if you shut it in a car door, it's kind of on you. But I'm sure they'd probably help you out with buying that section or something. But they have a lifetime warranty against defects. And then a neat program just on the wholesale end is if I order anything that isn't selling that great, I can swap it out and try something different. Which is, I mean, it doesn't really matter to consumers or people buying at retail, but as someone who owns a business, having that flexibility of being able to, like, you know, oh, try these rods. Oh, they were duds. You know, send them back, pay the freight back, of course, and then swap it out and then try something else. That's awesome. You know, that's you can't really put a value on that. It's a super cool thing that they do, and almost no distributors or wholesalers do that. So it's pretty unique to TFO, and I really appreciate that, especially because we're a small store. So, you know, if we spend $1,000 on, you know, these rods and then they're all duds, that can really hurt us. You know, we're a big company, can absorb those kind of losses, but just having that flexibility of being able to, oh, hey, you know, these 3 rods, they've sat here for 6 months, you know, just pay the return shipping, shoot them in, get the credit, and then try something else. Man, it's a pretty cool program, and I really appreciate that. So where I'm starting out today is we're below the lock gate, upriver from Maupin. Like I said earlier on the drive up, I'm gonna fish completely new water today. So it might be a great day of finding new spots, or it might be a terrible day and I won't catch nothing. But I doubt that. But we'll find something, I'm sure. So where I'm starting is like I said, just down from the lock gate. I'm gonna send a float right down through that nice edge of that water, kind of where that foam is at. I probably won't spend a ton of time down there just because it looks pretty gnarly to navigate the bank. It's pretty brushy. And I took a pretty nasty spill down along the river about a little over a week ago that I'm still not fully recovered from. My leg's still pretty sore. But I'm thinking right down on the backside of that rock, I think could be pretty nice. There's a small little fast current and a little micro eddy right there, which we've been having high water here lately. It's getting closer to being back to normal, but I'm thinking maybe if I can get down near that rock and send a float down around in that little eddy, it could be a pretty productive little spot. The Deschutes monster. Feisty little shit. A little steelhead smolt. Pretty fish. There you go. Now I have to de-slime my hand again. All right. Well, that's 1.1 fish out of this hole. I really don't know if that little smelt counts as a fish, but we'll see if I can't coax something a little bigger out of this little spot here. All right, just caught one here. It's a little late getting it on camera, but wait till you see her. She's a dandy. Oh yeah, beautiful fish. Okay, and it decided to eat. Get it up here. It decided to eat that. And where it took it was right out in there where the float's at. It's where he decided to eat it. I've been working this little run, and something had been playing with it, whether or not it was that fish or not, but it kept bumping it around, and I could tell something was messing with it. So I knew it was a matter of time before I got one hooked up. Wish I'd gotten more of the fight. Forgot to have the camera on me. Went fishing a couple times without the camera and I've gotten spoiled. As simple as these videos are, it's a lot of work to film them. We'll see if I can't get another one here out of the same little pool. A little smolt here. Get them over here and get them off. All right, another little guy. There you go, homie. Go back to your fishy home. Well, so far so good on the new water trip. This little riffle behind me, or little tail, I ended up getting about, I don't know, 3 or 4 fish. One real nice one. The rest of them were just some little smolts, but it was still a productive stop. I've never fished this spot before. I'll go ahead and give you a shot of where I was fishing. All right, spot number 2. I'm gonna fish that slow current right off that fast water all the way down. There's a good shoulder all the way down, and then down below about 50 yards is a good sized eddy that I'll spend some time in. But I'm gonna go ahead and start right up in here on this little bit softer water off the fast current and see if I can't find any fish there. Alrighty, here's a little tip. You see that plant? If you're ever on the Deschutes, don't touch that plant. That's poison oak, poison ivy. I'm not sure which. All I know is it will make you break out a rash and be very uncomfortable. It's the leaves of 3, and they're usually kind of glossy, like that. So you do not walk through that or brush up against it. You'll get a kind of skin hives and blisters, and it's really uncomfortable and itchy, and it's not like it's going to kill you or anything, but you're just going to wish you hadn't touched it. So yeah, if you ever see that, it's a lot of it along the Deschutes. So just a little tip to avoid that plant. Down the side of the river from where I showed you, I started, we're going to work my way down to a big eddy. It's been a little slow down in through here. Kind of surprised. I'm just making my way through tick and snake heaven right here. Being very careful where I step. I'm working down to an eddy. I'm hoping to have better luck. So far today, it's been the slower kind of eddies and tails as where I have found the fish. The kind of quicker riffly stuff. This is perfect water. Riffly cover. There's boulders. The depth's about right, and so far I've only caught one down in through here. I didn't bother and put it on film because it was just a little smolt. But we'll see if I can't find anything down in through here. I mean, the section of water looks great. I should be hooking fish here. But we'll see if it improves the next 15 or 20 minutes. Then I'll go to the 3rd new spot today. I'm fishing all new water today, and trying to up my skills and learn more about the river. So we'll see what I can find. Try to keep it on that foam line. It's not much of a cast. I'm just gonna let it go right on down that foam line again. Here comes the wind. Got out early today because it's supposed to be really windy this afternoon, like almost 20 miles an hour. So the float's leaning, kind of ticking, leaning downstream, which means I might be a little bit too deep. We'll see. Let's bring it back in. I get down a little further in this drift is where I've been hooking them. Hooked 2 here already. I'm about to 6 or 7 for the day. Only one nice one though. See some fish feeding at the surface down there, some little guys. This would be a hard spot to dry fly fish. Just gonna let that sucker keep working down, do a mend here. In these slow spots like this, I like to do a slow retrieve. I've caught plenty of fish doing a slow retrieve like this with the flies getting towed back to the rod. I know a lot of float fishermen just crank it in as fast as they can, and I do that sometimes, but on water like this, I definitely like to do a slow retrieve. Figure the longer your bait or fly is in the water, the longer you're fishing. And I think I just had a fish strike at the float. Alright, let's do one more drift here. Let's get out a little further. And here comes that wind. I'm going to do this drift and then reel it in and then do a depth. I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I know there's a big red band hiding down underneath there, and these little smolt and smaller fish are getting to the flies. So I'm going to reel it in here in a minute and do a depth change and do another drift, see if I can't get a big red band on film. Alright, let's see if we can get one here. This is great looking float water. Good depth, good structure. Send this down there and see if I can't get a take on camera. I need to start trying to get better at that. That's not the easiest thing in the world to do when you're kind of a one-man show. Oh, there we go. Fish. Awesome. He's swimming right at me. There he goes. All right. Well, that worked out pretty good, trying to get one on camera. Can't, let's see. Let's bring him out over here. A little spot I can get down into the water. I think it's a little rainbow. Let's see if I'm right. Yep. Oh. There we go. Got it now. All right. Wet your hand. Try to always do that when you handle fish. Oh yeah, you're feisty. Dink right in the nose. Nice fish. Beautiful fish. There's no black spot. The fish are looking really good. Hopefully that holds out through the summer. Uh-oh, I got snagged down below. There we go. All right, let's get another drift going, see if I can't get another one on the camera. Well, so far so good on the new water day. That's what I'm calling it. Fishing water I've never fished. I think I'm up to about 6 or 7 on the day. Maybe more than that. A lot of them were small smolt, so I wasn't even bothering turning the camera on. But all in all, you know, it's a beautiful day. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit, but it also feels like it just died. So I'm gonna move on down river and see if I can't find another new spot. See if I can't find that big 18-inch red band. I've been on a pretty good roll finding them here lately, so see if I can't find another one. Well, here's the final spot of the day. Never fished this big eddy before. I would think right in there in that foam line between the fast and the slow, I should hook up something there. And it's a huge old eddy swirling back around. Gonna go down there and give it a shot. It looks like it's gonna be pretty gnarly getting down there. A lot of loose rock, and it's fairly steep. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to find the best route down, and hopefully find a good sized red band down there somewhere. But it looks like a great spot. I'd imagine it's a pretty obvious spot, so I imagine it gets fished a lot, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. With the center pin, I can reach places that most fly fishermen or indicator nympher guys, Euro nymphing guys really can't get to. So we'll see how it is. She's fighting pretty good. It's got a little bit of weight to it. Let's see what we got here. Hasn't showed itself yet. Little head shake. Oh, nice red band. Yeah, that's what we're after, baby. Beautiful fish. Oh, easy, dude. Don't hurt yourself on the rocks. Don't hurt yourself on the rocks. That goes for me, too. Don't hurt myself on the rocks. Oh, yeah. Another beauty. Alright, hold the beauty upside down. Oh, yeah. Nice fish. A little bit of black spot on him. In he goes. Awesome. New spot. And we caught a nice red band. That's pretty exciting. Let's see, the wind's starting to pick back up again, so let's see if I can get it back out where it was. It took a little bit to get it out, but well, that's it for the outing today. You know, the wind picked up and just got too much for me today. Decided to head back. Remember to like and subscribe. We are now a Temple Fork Outfitter dealer. I mentioned that earlier today. And then we're also a Nova tackle dealer now. So we have access to their floats and everything. And I was using a Nova rod today. A Nova pen rod, and it's a great fishing pole, and both companies are very reasonably priced for what you get. Till next time, we'll see you around and get on the river somewhere.